Welcome to Well Wellness. I'm Kara Barr, and this is David Barr, and we are with Turning Point Wellness in Lutz, Florida. Today we're going to talk a little bit about medical weight loss and all the different options that are available for people who see a need for dropping a little bit of weight, whether it's for health reasons, to get in better shape, or just because they feel better at a lower weight. So, David, what can we say about this weight loss?
Well, there's several different options that are available, and I'm going to talk to you today about a couple of those, and two that we utilize the most. And when we talk about weight loss, some of the key things that people, look at when they're, talking about, hey, I need to lose some weight, I need to get, in better shape, is losing the weight and keeping it off. Now, that's the important part. So many times we see people doing fad diets where they, lose 20, 30, 40 pounds, and then over the course of the next year, they put on 50 or 60 pounds, and they yo-yo back and forth. With what we have in place to try and help folks that are, looking to lose weight, is something where we can help you get the weight off and keep it off. With medical weight loss, we are utilizing medications along with an important diet plan as well as an exercise plan that does help keep keep that weight off and sustaining better health for you and making sure that you are as comfortable as you can be. Important things to note when it comes to losing weight is, one, when your body starts taking off the fat and losing the pounds, you are not going to see results right away. You may notice that, hey, it looks like I've lost a few pounds, but I'm not seeing anything. Well, the first thing your body is going to do is take off the fat that has been packed around your organs, including your liver, large and small intestine, spleen, and even at the base of the diaphragm. And to some degree, we see a little excess fat, even surrounding the heart. This is key. For better health, you need to get that fat off and around your organs. One of the big players coming here in the last probably 10 to 15 years is fatty liver disease is in the top 5, ranking problems that are leading to early graves for a lot of folks. It's not alcohol-induced liver disease. It's not, heroin or, medication-induced liver disease. It's fatty liver disease, and that is from, excessive weight. So when you start losing the weight and you don't see the results right away, give it a little time. Give it a little time. You're on the right track. You may see 5 or 6 pounds going away and going, wow, it's not really doing that much. I'm not really seeing anything. Well, actually, that's your body going, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, because I'm getting rid of that fat around my organs, especially my liver. Also, key things to note, when we talk about diet plans and we talk about medical weight loss, we're utilizing medication and we're utilizing diet. Too many times, fad diets become very difficult to follow over a period of time. So what we've designed and put together with nutritionists is following a Mediterranean diet. Now, if you look at the Mediterranean diet, it is probably one of the best for controlling your weight, having food that is, nutritious and good to eat. It's not flat, stale, just doesn't have any taste and very difficult to manage. It also does utilize some carbohydrates. All right. Too many times people go, I'm going to go on a no-carb diet. Well, that's very hard to maintain over a period of time. And too many times people will go, it's just one this or it's just one that. Well, that takes away from the effectiveness of the diet if you're trying to get your body in a ketosis state and stay strictly on high protein, low to no carb diet. The Mediterranean diet, totally different. It does utilize carbohydrates. The portions are better controlled. We are reducing red meats. We're focusing more on chicken and fish. There's a lot of advantages to it. When it comes to the medication, that's where we have two different options. One, and probably the one that is the most talked about currently, seen a lot in advertisements, we hear a lot on TV, is the semaglutide, or also Ozempic or Wegovy. All three are the same medication. Semaglutide is the generic name or chemical formulation name for the medication. It is called it is a GLP-1. What that means is it helps lower your sugars by increasing the insulin at the level of the intestine. This will help decrease your appetite, as it will affect the hormones that are being displaced by the intestines and your digestion. It stimulates many of the hormones, including into the pituitary, where the regulation of the thyroid hormones are initiated. So what we'll see is a suppressed appetite or cravings with this medication, as well as better and more effective reduction in your sugar and better insulin production. What is being seen is anywhere from a 10 to 15% weight loss. When I say 10 to 15%, what I mean is if you are 200 pounds, we are seeing anywhere from, in the first 2 months, anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds coming off. So it's a 10 to 15% weight loss in the first 2 months, and about every 2 months thereafterwards. So we're seeing on average people losing between 25 and 50 pounds. And that's a conservative measure. With the proper diet, with increased exercise, and making sure that when we talk about the medication, that you're following what your body's telling you. So when you're not hungry, you're not eating. When you feel like, oh wow, I should be getting something to eat, it's lunchtime and I'm not really that hungry, what that actually means is go get yourself a nice big glass of water, have a high protein, maybe a snack, something along the lines of a hard-boiled egg would work out real well. High protein, it's nutritious and works well with the body, but try and avoid the carbohydrates. But the key is making sure you're getting plenty of fluid. When you're not hungry and you're not feeling like eating, the first thing that will happen is you will start running into issues of dehydration, because when you're not hungry, you don't end up drinking much either. And we don't need you to get dehydrated. Getting dehydrated does not help you one little bit, because the next thing you'll start noticing is increase in fatigue, and you're dragging and you're feeling like, wow, I'm having trouble just even functioning. A lot of that is due to the fact that you're not drinking enough fluid. So make sure you're drinking plenty of fluid. Not eating very much is one thing. Not drinking fluids, totally different. The other medications that we use to help with weight loss is a medication called naltrexone. This is a medication that can be done either in an oral form, or it has been designed in a pellet form, which is placed underneath the skin into the fatty layer just at the level of the hip. When that is combined with a medication called Boostbar, we see again a reduction in the appetite, an increase in insulin production, and better efficiency of converting the glucose into energy and reducing glucose levels, because the insulin is working better within the body. This medication, naltrexone, was originally designed to help people get off of heroin and to help people with issues with drinking alcohol. What we noticed was that it was also suppressing appetite. When it was combined with Boostbar, which is a medication that is used to help with anxiety, we saw a big drop in weight, because people were just, people utilized them were not very hungry. They had appetite suppressant. And next thing you know, in the course of a month, 2 months, they're seeing 10, 15, 20 pounds coming off. It's not as high a level of weight loss as the semaglutide, but it is in the pellet form consistent. It is at an even level. You're not taking a shot once a week. You don't have to remember to take the medication. It's already inside you. You're just taking the Boostbar twice a day, along with any other medications that you're taking. following the same diet and getting some proper exercise will make a huge difference in the amount of weight that you can lose. Now, naltrexone is very effective in weight loss. It's not as promoted because of the stigma behind it. I don't have trouble with heroin, I don't have trouble with alcohol. Well, no. But there's a lot of medications we utilize that were originally designed for one thing and we're utilizing them for something different. So you can't really look at it that way. You need to look at it from the standpoint of, hey, this is going to help me lose some weight. And it's going to be convenient for me to use. Even when not combined with the Boost Bar, we still see anywhere from a 5 to 10% reduction in weight per month. And that's of your total body weight. So if you're weighing 200 pounds, we see anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds coming off in the course of 1 to 2 months. So it can be very effective in helping you lose weight. It's safe. It's well tolerated. Few side effects with it. Along with semaglutide, again, few side effects. One of the biggest that we see is probably upset stomach. You can note hair loss with semaglutide. Not very common, but it can happen. So that's something to keep in mind. With naltrexone, again, GI upset. Sometimes it can cause diarrhea. Probably the biggest side effects that we notice. So these are a few of the treatment strategies that we utilize to help you lose weight from a medical standpoint. When you're working in this program with our office, we do a detailed history and physical. We talk about the diets that you've been on, what you've noticed as some of your triggers for those diets not being effective for you. We talk about any of the medications that you're taking. We do a detailed physical exam, making sure that you're not having any other medical issues going on. It is prudent to look into things like thyroid levels. It's also prudent to possibly, based on age and what other symptoms you may be feeling, is to look at hormones. Sometimes hormone imbalance can cause stubbornness and losing weight. And we see a lot of belly fat not wanting to disappear, even though you're exercising and dieting. It's not working out as well. Well, it could be because your hormone levels are off. So, at Turning Point Wellness, we take a full body approach and detailed physical to identify what other triggers could there be that may help impede, let me phrase that, that may help you lose weight or that could be impeding your weight loss goals. So these are a few of the options that we've utilized. We have had many success stories. I know Kara and I have taken care of a few people that have really dropped a few pounds. One in particular I just saw the other day, and in 2 months she's down 18.5 pounds. She's very excited. It's noticeable weight loss. She feels better. One of the keys that she's noticing and that most people will notice is, hey, their pain levels have dropped a lot. That extra weight certainly can wear itself on the joints. I know Kara and I have lost a fair amount of weight in the last couple years, and I know that I personally have felt a significant improvement in my joint pain and overall body aches. I don't know, Kara, how have you been feeling since your weight loss?
Yeah, it makes a dramatic difference. I mean, if you think about it, it's that much weight that you're carrying that much less weight you're carrying everywhere you go. So it's so helpful to get that weight off the joints. It makes exercising easier, less painful, a lot less work. So even a simple walk feels that much, more invigorating. So yeah, I completely agree. The decrease in pain and discomfort, and just being able to move more easily is really a great side effect, probably one of the best ones. But another thing that a lot of patients have said is that it's so nice to not have the cravings, to not feel controlled by your food. That's one of the things that this weight loss program is so great for, is it takes away those cravings. So you're not thinking about eating all the time. So often people who have problems with their weight are going from one meal to the next. Okay, I just finished breakfast. What am I going to have for lunch? Thinking about it already. And that's one of the things that they find disappears with the weight loss program is, I'm not thinking about my next meal anymore. Like when it comes time, okay, yeah, maybe I'll have a sandwich today, or maybe a salad or some soup, but it's not controlling your thoughts. I think that that's one of the best things about it, is the freedom to not always be thinking about food. Eat to live instead of living to eat. The medication kind of gets you out of that habit and mindset to where just eating is such a humongous part of my life. It is in our culture, a big part of social events, but when it's not the main part of your life, it really is freeing to no longer have that feeling.
Yeah, I agree. So many times we talk about, hey, let's get together and go out to dinner. Let's get together, go out for lunch. I mean, a lot of our social activities certainly have revolved around food over the years, and that's really, important to note. It's okay to have things revolve around a meal. Just make sure you're making the right choices. When you're not hungry, it's fine to say, hey, I'm going to have something light. I don't need to eat a lot. I don't need to make a meal out of this. The folks that you're with are not really watching what you're eating. The goal is to sit there and chat over a period of time that you have, set aside to have that meeting, to have that get together. If it involves food, that's fine, but it doesn't have to be the focus for you. Have something light. Have something, refreshing. Maybe just simple bowl of fruit. Keep in mind that follow what your body's telling you. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Again, make sure you're drinking plenty of fluid, but follow what your body is telling you. I'm not hungry, so I'm not really going to eat. I'm going to have something light. Make it simple. Kara had mentioned exercise, and I was just thinking through. One of the things that we hear a lot is, well, what's the best exercise? What should I be doing? When I start feeling better, what sorts of things are going to help me burn the most calories and be the most effective? In the beginning, for those of you that have not been super active, simple walking becomes extremely important. Taking a walk around the block, starting with 15-minute increments, increasing to 30. We start with, I want you to take a walk every day for 1 week, 15 minutes. Set the timer on your watch, whatever it may be. Set the timer on your phone. And start with the first week, hey, I'm going to go for 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be a speed walk, but, set it for 7 minutes and then turn around and 7 minutes, 8 minutes to come back. So set yourself up for success. Increase it by 15 minutes. When you get to where you're able to walk for an hour and you're feeling like, hey, I'm getting this exercise thing down, what's going to help me burn calories, or what's going to help with helping my weight loss even more? This is when, if you are looking to find activities that are effective in weight loss, a couple of ones that I would recommend, swimming is probably first on my list. It is easy on the joints. An hour of swimming, and not speed Michael Phelps swimming, but just swimming laps. An hour, even for those of us in our 50s or 40s or, creeping even into the 60s, will burn up to 900 calories. Now that's a lot. Most meals, if you're following our diet plan, are going to be running between 700 and 900. So you're going to burn off a full meal without any issue with 1 hour of swimming. Other activities that we recommend, rowing is another one that's really good. It's not that bad on the joints. The shoulders probably take the biggest hit when you're doing the rowing machine, but again, it burns a fair amount of calories. If you want to talk about what activities can I do, rock climbing. Now you're sitting there going, rock climbing? Wait a minute. Well, there are climbing walls all over most cities, large cities, where you can, get a membership and do climbing. If you want to find an activity to do, that's a big one. That helps, really burn a fair amount of calories. An hour of rock climbing will burn up to 850 calories. So that's something, as far as an activity goes, that can be very, very effective in weight loss. Again, back to staying active. If you're going to the second or even the third floor of a building, skip the elevator. Go to the stairs. Walk the stairs. That will help you. All these little things. If you're not sure about your portion control, forget the 12-inch dinner plate. Switch to the 8-inch dessert plate. When you're pulling out plates and you're serving everybody, you get yourself the 8-inch plate. You make that look good. It's still significantly less than filling a 12-inch plate versus the 8-inch. So when you're done, you'll have eaten less. You'll look like you've cleaned your plate, which in our society is a big thing. Mom and dad telling you when you're younger, hey, make sure you clean your plate. You'll be able to do that and have eaten significantly less calories in the end. These are little tricks to the trade of how to be successful in your weight loss journey. So that being said, the medication when it comes to semaglutide is a once-a-week shot. I personally recommend doing it on Sundays. Most of the time, people are home on Sundays. For those of you that travel, most of the time you're home on Sunday, so you know that you're going to be home and you don't have to worry about taking your medication with you. The first month, don't get excited if you don't see a lot of weight loss. That's your body getting used to the medication. It's also where you only may see 5 or 7 pounds come off. But guess what? That's the pounds coming off the organs. That's the important weight. It's the second and third months where we start seeing more. We can increase the medication. That's not a problem. When you're working with our clinic, we do a once-a-month check-in on your weight. We talk about any side effects. We talk about any cravings that you may have. We talk about additional options that may be available to you. We have a medication that a lot of our folks like to use. It's called Mick Ultra Burn. It is a B-complex vitamin with vitamin C. It helps promote burning of fat, particularly around the abdomen, especially when you're utilizing activities. It can help. You do that twice a month, once every 2 weeks. It's an IM injection, so you kind of have it put right into your arm. Not a big deal. It's quick and it's easy, similar to the semaglutide, which goes just underneath the skin. It's a sub-Q injection. But it does help people lose, additional weight. Typically, we see maybe an extra 5 or 6 pounds per month coming off if you're utilizing the Mick Ultra Burn. But keep in mind, that is something that is more effective when you have a weight loss program in place that includes 3 to 4 days a week of exercise. And we're talking about at least a half hour. So half hour to 1 hour of exercise 3 to 4 days a week will help. That's where the Mick Ultra Burn will really make a difference in seeing additional fat, especially around the abdomen, coming off. And you're starting to get more of that flat stomach, which is, of course, what a lot of people are looking forward to. There are a lot of gimmicky things out there when it comes to weight loss. Be leery of that. Hey, I got this from a Navy SEAL. It says it's going to help me have a six-pack. These things are, faddish and trendy-ish. Stick with the basics. Stick with what works. The Mediterranean diet, when you review it, you'll note that it is a very effective diet. Portion control is key. That's what we will teach you with our diet plan. We also included in our diet plan, we'll talk about when you cheat, what you have to look forward to. So some of the things like a Big Mac, you will see how many extra calories that is and what it will take to get rid of that one Big Mac. So staying true to the diet, is really important. One thing for those that like to, have a beer or two, when you drop or reduce your alcohol intake, you'll be surprised just by reduction or stopping alcohol intake, how much weight you will end up losing, just from that alone. So think through, How many beers do I have? How frequent do I have a drink? And write it down. You might be surprised. Oh, I don't drink that much. Well, yeah, maybe during the week you may only have one, but on the weekend, next thing you know, you've had 3 or 4. And it's not always a single. Sometimes it's a double if it's a mixed drink. All those calories add up. A 2-ounce pour of most spirits is 60 calories. Now, add that up. You'd be surprised how fast it can get up to 300 or 400 calories just from mixed drinks. Beer the same way. Oh, I drink light beer. Okay, that's 110 calories. Some are at 90. But if you have 6, it's almost a meal. So these are the little things that we don't think about all the time. So keep those little things in mind. Kara, anything else you'd like to?
No, I think it's just, there's so many things go together to make weight loss. It's not one thing.
Yeah.
So that's really this new medical weight loss plans with the semaglutide or now naltrexone pellets. It really gives you a leg up, and the tools. It's you can still not lose weight if you don't use the tools correctly, but when you have the tools in place, it really makes a difference. So that's kind of the overarching thought with this is we want to give you the tools, and they're going to make it easier, and you'll be able to do it then. So
get a hold of us, give us a call. Let's see what we can do for you. We'll sit and chat. We'll go over things in great detail. We'll talk about your diet history and make sure that you're safe in your weight loss journey.
Yep.
So
thank you for joining us today on Well Wellness. We hope to see you soon.